Let's make the junk journaling fairies all this stuff to play with.
Let's make tiny books and tiny ephemera for a dollhouse. Hello, welcome. My name is Maud. For those of you who don't know me already, I am a journal maker, a doll maker, and recently started making a dollhouse out of leftover book covers. That dollhouse is completely for fairies, and I need them to have books, I need them to get letters, and I am making miniature books and miniature ephemera out of digitals that I got from the Digital Collage Club. These are beautiful images to work with, and let's start. My name is Maud. If you're new here, you're really welcome, and if you already know me, hi, welcome back, and let's move on in making some beautiful things. This morning I had my punches out. I have these miniature punches that I bought locally. This came from Action. This came from a craft fair. This is the next up round punch that I've got. And these two are just beautiful, and I've been playing with them already. And I've made these super cute tiny tags out of this. So I did not have to cut the whole thing because I was already cutting a lot, and I've got it here. This is what I cut out so far, and yeah, this took me hours. And some of this is perhaps a little bit too big because, well, this is going to be my journal, the Woodland Fairy Journal. But let me see, let me show you. Oh, some water was spilled on here because I watered my plants. But this is how I need to take out more. And this is how I can use my smallest punch. This works just beautiful if I don't mess it up. And I also want to use it on these images. And if you hear that noise in the background, it's my washing machine telling me I should do the laundry, but I want to play now. I will do it in a second. And let me do this last row. This makes my life so much easier than if I were to fussy cut everything like I did the other parts. I need a bigger one for this one. Oh, I love this one. And perhaps these images, this is not so good. Perhaps these images are a little bit too big for my fairy journal, but then I can always use them in other projects, I think. Let me see. And I also want to use, I've got the smallest dies that I have. I will have a problem putting them all back because I took them from, well, the whole stash that I had, but these are the smallest that I have. I can use this one probably. This one is too big. This one is good. This one is even. I mean, I thought these were really tiny and good to use, but it's only these two probably that I can really use. But let me see what I can do. Because I also like this shape, but it's even too big and it's not fitting there. What shall I do with these images? I think I will make more tags out of these. I think these punches, these two, were some of my best investments. I bought these 3 together at a craft fair, like I told you, for 10 euros. So 10 euros is a lot of money, but I'm really happy that I got these because I use them all the time. This is a little bit too big for my liking. And this is a little too small, so I'm not sure what I want to do with those yet. But let's get these images. This is a bit too big. I cut it like this then. I think I will find myself cutting a lot of these by hand, but this just saves so much time. I can get away with this and just ink it. So I will be doing these off camera. Perhaps I have to fussy cut these and maybe. Oh yes, I want a few of these. Let me show you how I'm going to do these. Sorry for telling you I'm going to do this off camera and then I am doing this differently again, but yes, I like these images too. Do the bird. I like this shape. It is a little bit different from the other ones because, well, otherwise everything would be the same. And I think I want this guy. Let me just see what I can do. I think I have to cut him by hand. It's not that difficult. It's always difficult to get the right punches, the right dies, obviously, but I just use what I have and cut the ones that I don't have a die for with or by hand. This will be nice. Yeah, I like these. I want a couple of these shapes, so I'm just going to use these images, and maybe they're not completely on the shape, but I still like to have this shape. I like working with this small die cutting machine, especially when I'm on a camping trip. I take this and I take a couple of these small dies with me, so I can easily, just take these images out. Well, these are easy enough, just squares. So I will pause the video here and then I'll be back to assemble the journal and to put the ephemera in. So to assemble this little journal, I thought of a method to get all the pages together without using any sewing techniques. And for that, I am going to fold all the pages neatly down the middle and glue one page to the other, just the white sides, like this, and assemble the whole book like that. So let's try. I've already done a few pages. I have to look really carefully to put the right pages together so I don't glue them in upside down. Using glue stick for this because that is the more forgiving glue. It is a bit fiddly, but it works. It works just perfectly. And I can adjust just a little bit because of the glue stick. Now let me put the next page on. Oh, it is already upside down. And if there is just a tiny bit white showing, I'm not bothered, because I'm going to use some ink to get rid of the white that is showing, if I cannot adjust it. So I will continue folding these first and then gluing it, and I will show you once it's nearly finished how the end result looks. I folded everything down and I am already into gluing, and I find that the more I'm putting these pages together, I'm getting some kind of a rhythm and yeah, knowing how to do this. I might have made a judgment error by putting a single page on the front, because if I want to make a spine and a cover, I'm probably going to cover this one up again, but well, I'm not there yet. I'm just thinking about that. And now my whole book is going to be covered in glue. But if you're making miniature books, yeah, this could be an option. I mean, this could also be an option for a larger book that you make out of printables. If you don't print them double-sided, then this could be your go-to method. I do need to clean my hands because otherwise I get the whole thing covered in glue. Let me take a new page. I'm trying not to fuss over the order in which the pages are in, because, well, that is not really that important, but I don't want to have the same pages, the same kind of page, because every page is different, because this bundle of what is it, digital, is every page is different, and that is a wonderful thing. So I will link the Digital Collage Club down below so you can have a look for yourself. And obviously, if these pages were a little bit bigger, yeah, I think my life would be easier, but I really like this. And I like to mix up my methods of making these tiny journals, because that way I'm keeping it interesting, because I have a few more to go. But it will be fun. I mean, I can mix it up with doing other things, and just a few more to go. Well, this is becoming really neat and I love this. I always have to think about which way is up and which way is the glue going this time. So now the last one. I think I will put this one on the back and just do a tiny scrap of fabric. And then we have another beautiful little journal or book or so I think I will use this method again because it is becoming a beautiful block and there's not too much of a white showing. Well, this obviously needs to dry because there's still some wet glue areas in between. I'm going to pause the video here and find myself a thin, small piece of fabric that I can glue over here. And then I have a booklet. I'm going through the journal now with a piece of leftover candle because, well, my fingers were covered in glue stick, and in order for the pages to be non-sticky, especially when I have this lying around for a long time, they might get stuck. I am just going over it lightly, sorry, with a piece of candle. This is a trick my friend Barbara, hello sweetie, over at 49 Dragonflies taught me, and it works beautifully. Well, you get the idea. I'll be back once I've done the whole booklet. Well, I've worked through the booklet with my piece of candlestick, and at the same time, I kind of, you know, what we do when we want pages to really stick together, we burnish them. I kind of burnish them at the same time. So now they're all really nice and even. I do not like the white of the pages showing, so I am going to use my vintage photo distress oxide, and I'm going through all the pages, and if I see these white edges that I don't like, I'm just going to use some vintage photo on there. Basically, I'm just going to do the whole booklet. And the pages also have a nice feel to them. Now I did them with the candles wax. I'm not sure if I'm able to glue in the ephemera as well. I could do with my art glitter glue, I think. But I have this other idea. I'm going to make a tiny box like I have myself, because I've got this box with scraps. And I'm going to make a tiny box for the fairies with a lot of the ephemera inside, so that I can display it like they are having a journaling session of their own. How about that? And there's still some sticky here. The fun thing about this method of gluing the white sides of the pages together is that if I lay my book flat, it is completely flat, even if I put it like this. So this is really nice to display also if I want to do like a kind of imagery that the dolls are doing some journaling. Then this is the perfect journal to display. But next time I will clean my hands more often in between, because, well, I have put some glue on these pages now. So this is working just beautifully. Let me put it up to the camera and do a tiny flip through. This is just fine. And now for the spine, because it is a nice block. It came out perfectly. And for the spine, I will be going through these batiks and just seeing what matches. Well, this is already really nice. So this is a contender. Yeah, if I'm careful which part I use of this. No, it's too bright. I don't like the yellow. I don't like the purple. I think I will use this one. And I just need a tiny, tiny sliver. But I also want to be careful that I'm not using those bright parts. But I do want to use like a part of an edge, because, well, I don't want to cut in the middle of the journal. But yeah, this part, this would be nice. So I'm just taking some sharper scissors. I really don't need a lot. I just want to cover this over a little bit. need to make this straight. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what these scissors are, they're surgical scissors that I bought at a secondhand fair one day. My husband was a nurse when he first started his career, and he knew what they were, and they stay sharp and they're beautiful, but obviously keep them away from kids. Yeah, I like this. I mean, in the forest, the inn gets lost, but the forest is also really nice to have on there. So I'm going to cut another sliver off. You hear Wolfie again in the background. She says hi to you guys who like her. Always interfering. For this I am going to use my art glitter glue, but I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny bit. And now to cover the front, just again, only a little bit of glue. Because I don't want blobs of glue to come through the fabric. I'm even cutting this one down because I think it is too much fabric. So this is my booklet. Was I out of frame? I hope not. I'm really happy with it, how it turned out. And yeah, I'm going to pause the video here for just a second, get my materials to make I think a little box, or perhaps even an ephemera full. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have a think, but I want the fairies to have something besides this journal or booklet or whatever you call it. And yes, so they have this ephemera to play with. I think that would look really nice on a display setting. And yeah, I'm just going to have a little think about it. I am working on the ephemera while having myself a little coffee. And yeah, I just wanted to pop on and show you that everything is the real deal. I mean, these are the tiniest envelopes. Obviously, if you print this out full size, you get wonderful envelopes for your junk journal, for your own junk journal. But printing these out miniature size is just beautiful, I think, for working for a dollhouse. So I have to put the tiniest bit of glue on here. Just a little droplet. And have that dry. I'm inking these, well, they are really big, but sometimes we use really big tags, right? It can still go in there. And this is another tiny envelope. My fingers are so big doing this. And I have to use the tiniest bit of ink, because if I dab it onto my pad multiple times, it will just smudge the whole thing in dark brown. Yeah, and normally I would put these under, but since this is so small, I would like to show that it is real and not just a double-sided piece that I copied. And let me, because this is already a lot. Use this on the other side, perhaps. No, this dries so quickly. So, and I have here a wooden spatula, and I've got them in all kinds of sizes. These are coffee stirring sticks. These are tongue spatulas. I've got the popsicle sticks. I've got wooden, straw. These are not wood. These are paper straws. How do you call these? Skewers. But they are a little bit thicker, and I like that sometimes. And I also got these bamboo sticks, and I thought about making a box out of these for this little ephemera. And I'm thinking I'd rather use this, perhaps, or get more popsicle sticks out. I'm going to have myself a little think, drink my coffee, and I'll show you how I make the little boxes for the ephemera. So I did try out a few things. I have this cabinet that I want the box with the ephemera to fit in. So I've made it a little bit smaller so I can, with my big fingers, you see, if I put this on the sides, it will still fit. Because, well, the ones of you that have seen my dollhouse tour know that I got this furniture along with some other furniture really cheap. But the thing is, I can't fit my books in, and that is a bit of a shame. But I thought, how about if I make all kinds of boxes and other things for the junk journaling fairies to go in. So what I did with my pliers, I cut out a bit of this spatula, and I'm using just an old nail file to make the edges smooth and I'm going to make the sides now. This is going to be a wonky kind of box, but hey, I think we junk journalers like wonky things, right? Let me see if I can put that there. This is going to look really rustic, and I am going to use really strong glue. This glue dries in an instant. If it still wants to come out. Well, I need to push this through first. So, second attempt. Yeah, now it comes out. And I have to be really careful not gluing my fingers to the project or to each other with this glue. But it does work perfectly. And I need to put the lid on right away because otherwise it dries. And it is really strong. So, making another part. I'm flattening out this part because I need the surface as flat as possible. Whoops. And now for the sides. Oh, I think this is going to be nice, although it is going to be wonky. I think the emery board on this part is completely gone. So this size fits better. So now putting glue on 3 sides. The bottom is becoming rather nice. And one more side to go. And these sticks do vary in width. So I have to, you can see that this one is a little less wide. So I have to make sure I'm taking the right width. And that is this narrower one. Oh, this will look so nice. At least I think. Yeah, perhaps it will not touch on this part. I think I have to sand the box down here a little bit. This part is sticking out a bit, so let me see if I can sand it down enough. Yeah, this time it will fit a little bit better. Yeah, just glue it. There's young sparrows outside my window being fed by their parents. And when their parents are not quick enough, they're making a fuss. So the glue has already dried, and now I have my box that I can put ephemera in and slide it into the bookcase. So now let's put some ephemera in here. So I think this already looks really nice. Let me put it up to the camera so you can see it a little bit better. So this, together with this journal, will be lovely to display in my fairy dollhouse, I think. I'm going to pause the video here, make some more of these boxes and other little bits for the fairies to play with along with their journaling. And then I will show you a display on the end. So I'll be back. So while I'm playing, I'm getting more excited. I'm even making a box with a bigger back and slanted sides. And yeah, I'm having a ball. If you know me a little bit, you know that, yeah, this is how my mind works. One thing leads to another and another and another. Yeah, I am literally going down a really nice rabbit hole here. Completely playing, enjoying myself, and yeah, time flies by. So I'm going to finish this box. I'm going to play on and leave it here because I think this video is going to be way too long otherwise. If you're still around, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like. That helps out my channel so much. Leave me a comment if you have some time. I love to read all your comments. And if you want to see a little more, I will take some photos of displaying what I just made with the dolls. And if you like seeing that, there will be a little bit more to see after I stop chatting to you. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye bye for now.